What's going on YouTube? It's Yeaton here. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing the 7 mistakes to avoid as a first-time home buyer. But before we get into that, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, join my community by shooting over a text at 207-222-7589 and ask any and all real estate questions that you have right there. Anyway, let's get into the video. So, the first mistake to avoid is buying more house than you can afford. This is very simple. You don't want to be house poor, right? It's really hard to get caught up in the emotion. It's hard not to get caught up in the emotion of buying a home. It's super exciting and everything, especially as a first-time home buyer. But if you haven't already applied for your mortgage, you'll soon find out that the quality of the home that you can get for a down payment might be much larger than what you can actually afford, right? You might be on Zillow and like thinking, yeah, I can afford this, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons that should be obvious. But the first is you'll be strapped for every month for money, right? Your mortgage eats up the majority of your income. Second, your home will become a burden instead of a blessing, and you'll just want out of the house, right? So avoid that mistake. One way to avoid this is when you talk to a mortgage broker, which you should do before you ever contact a real estate agent, or before you ever go to agentsjaketrust.com, is talk to them and calculate the price of your monthly payment based on your monthly after-tax income, so you don't bite off more than you can chew. Some experts have said that you should try to keep this around 30 or 40%. Obviously, that might not be realistic for some. If it's not, either I would say don't buy a house yet, or 2, have a reality check and decrease your standards a lot. Small homes can still have a lot of appeal, and it might be better to actually go out and buy a smaller home for your first home at a much cheaper price, and fix that house up while you live there. You know, make it your own. Live with that home and understand what it's like to have like a leaky roof or pipes going bad, or smaller things like your window is not sealed properly, or like I don't know, not light bulbs are out, but rather like a light switch isn't working, or something like that, right? Second, which goes on the first, is you don't want to empty your savings account on your down payment. This is a terrible idea, mostly because, well, you won't have any savings, so if anything else happens in your life, you're screwed. 2, something inevitably will happen with your house that you will need to patch up or completely fix, and you just want some money in there, right? It's best to keep anywhere from 3 to 6 months of living expenses in your account to cover any and all emergencies that may come up, and this way you don't get into debt, right? You don't ever want to get into bad debt. The other mistake I often see is first-time home buyers thinking that they have to put 20% down. You don't have to. Obviously a higher down payment is better because your mortgage will be less, but it's not completely realistic in today's market, right? Out here in Maine, it's much cheaper to live than where I was from, where I'm from, which is Seattle. Seattle's outrageous. It's outrageous. So anyway, don't shy away from getting a mortgage just because you can't put 20% down. You can often put even like 3% down. I'm working with a home buyer where they approved her and she can only put 3% down. It's crazy. You'll probably have to get a special type of insurance, right? And as a realtor, I shouldn't be blanking on that right now, but I am. Oh well. Next up, being careless with credit. Another mistake first-time home buyers often make is that they do not pay attention to what is going on with their credit score. So if you've worked hard to make sure that your credit score is 0, it's always good to check in from time to time to make sure it's staying that way, right? What I mean by a credit score of 0 is, for it to be high. If you're trying to repair your credit, you need to know if you're heading in the right direction or not, so make sure to do that. The next mistake I see from first-time home buyers is that once they are approved and once they choose a home, right, they're like, I want to, and like they put an offer in the home, they think it's done. The home seller hasn't actually accepted your offer yet, so one, it's not done. Two, what I see that they do is that they will go out and get like a gym membership, or they'll go to the car dealership and just fill out the paperwork and have them do a credit check. This can screw everything up for you. Just cut everything off. If you're in the process of buying a home, or you're in the market, nothing but a home ever goes on your credit score. No. If you like, just nothing. No new credit cards, nothing, right? Next, shopping for a home before actually applying for a mortgage. As a real estate agent here in the Bangor area, I will not go further than a short introductory conversation with the home buyer until they are pre-qualified. Why? You're wasting my time and your own. There is no reason for me to go out and show you all these homes on Zillow that you love when you have no idea if you can even afford that or if you'll even get approved for it. So first, go get pre-approved. It's not hard. Go contact your local lender. Just go on Google and just search, mortgage lender. Find one, get pre-approved. Once you're pre-approved, go over to agentsjaketrust.com and then contact a realtor, right? A couple other mistakes is when you're pre-qualified, you've gone to agentsjaketrust.com, they've shown you a couple of homes, you end up choosing a home that is not in the best neighborhood, and you get blinders on of how awesome this house is, but you're not taking into consideration the neighborhood. So you want to make sure that you study the neighborhoods in your target market, or your target area very carefully. What are you looking for in a neighborhood? What are you not looking for? And look for areas that have the same culture and amenities that you want. And a neighborhood should match your own values and lifestyle, right? Here, just in Bangor, Maine, a small city, we have a couple different areas, but it's very easy to fall into, I guess, different types of groups, right? My wife and I, we like to go out for date night in the downtown. I'm a very business-centric person and all of that, and I hate driving places. So we live closer to downtown because that fits a lot of our values and such. So make sure that you find one that definitely fits your values. The other one is, this one's crazy, is skipping home inspections. The last thing that you want to do when you're buying your first home is to have buyer's remorse. Do not skip the home inspections, and look at those very, 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 very carefully. One of the easiest ways to avoid disappointment is to simply get a home inspected on the home that you're interested in buying. These do not cost a lot of money. You should do it, and I always advise clients that you should definitely do it. It's worth your money. The worst that will happen is you have peace of mind for spending, I don't know, a couple $100. How is that bad? The best that will happen is you realize that you don't take out a mortgage of $300,000 and put a down payment down of, for example, $60,000 and strap with this mortgage, and now you need a new roof, right? It's pretty obvious, but these things happen. The last but certainly not least, and I touched on this in the beginning of the video, make sure that you write this one down like a lot. Get your finances in order. Buying your first home is like the most adulting thing you can do financially. It really is. So make sure that you figure out, how much are my, obviously like your monthly bills and mortgage and all that, but how much am I going to have to put aside for a roof? So during this home inspection, ask them how much longer do you think this roof will last until I need a new one? Whatever they say, look it up, and then just divide by monthly, right? How much how much money per month you will need to save up, so that when you do need a new roof, you have that lump sum right there. Same with a lot of other things on your property and in your house, things that get replaced and all of that. Try to calculate how long it will take for that whatever it is to go bad and to not work anymore, and just figure out for you to be able to save it, right? So, pretty simple. Are there any other mistakes that first-time homebuyers have? Comment below. Make sure to subscribe to this video. I hope that it was super helpful for you. Shoot me a text of what your thoughts were also at 207-222-7589. Make sure that if you are in the market for a home, that you don't just go to Zillow and Realtor and you find the first ones. You get them vetted by me personally. Go to agentsjaketrusts.com. If you're a realtor out there and you're just watching me for whatever reason, get yourself a nice website, right? It's really simple. Get yourself a really nice get yourself a really nice website and go to jaketrustscarrot.com. And after you get that really nice website, go to bubbles.link. I'll get all of the copyright for you, so you can just start getting leads and leads and leads like all these first-time homebuyers. Until next time, bye-bye.